Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today I am going to be covering the entire story of Paladins here in Season of Discovery to give you guys the importance of Gregory, the Undead Paladin. So this is an attempt to tell his entire story, because if you're a Horde player, you just kind of see him in the graveyard and you have no idea anything other than, hey, that's an Undead Paladin. So I figured this story would be absolutely awesome to cover, and so we're going to start it off here. So the very first beginnings of this is going to be the Sheath of Life quest, because we need to, before we even get to Gregory, we have to understand Catherine the Pure, as well as a few of the other characters, such as Aeonas the Vindicated. So we're going to be starting here, and this is essentially a level 40 epic paladin quest that we are going to go on a journey. So I am on the PTR. I got my full bis pally ready to crank, and we're going to see how well I can play paladin for one, and two, figure out these quests. So the very first step is to pick up this broken hammer right here, and this broken hammer will start a quest called the Broken Hammer Quest. So, you know, very original, lots to do with that. And then we have to search for clues, which means we have to now kill summoners here in order to get a torn leather. So we're going to be doing that, and then we will read that letter to you and really dive into the lore and story. This is more going to be about lore and story than actually like completing the quests and stuff, so I might skip a few steps. You guys don't really need to see me do a level 40 sod quest anymore for a rune, because you get them all off the rune broker. So it's really going to be story focused, and I hope you guys enjoy it, so I'll see you then. Rooted the torn letter here, and let's read it. It says, "Due to your covenant staggering's ineptitude, not one but two groups of interlopers were able to penetrate your defenses, inflict heavy casualties, and steal our property. I will deal with the Scarlet Crusade, but I need your pitiful coven to muster the competence to track down the Paladin and his accomplice and recover. The letter is torn, and the rest is missing." So we have made it back to Catherine the Pure with the letter, and we have the Broken Hammer quest. Turn it in. What do you have here? Catherine sighs heavily. Yes, Kaghoe, I do know of this weapon. I assumed its owner had died long ago. So then we need to do a lost brother. I won't speak of this weapon's master in detail, for telling you would fill me with shame, but I could tell you what I can. So speak to her. How did he come to leave the order? The particulars I will not speak of, as I said. It fills me with shame. Suffice it to say that he began to develop a few very unpopular opinions, and it led to some rather public disagreements with our leadership. After one disagreement led to a formal censure of Aeonas, he became a pharaoh and a consistent target of chastisement. At some point, I suspect the man decided he had enough. He renounced his rank and station and set off alone. What became of him? I do not know. I have not seen nor heard from him since he left the order. I do know that he had a passion for the sea, and it was an accomplished angler. On rare occasions over the years, when my thoughts have turned to Aeonas, I've preferred to imagine that he peacefully retired to some sleepy village where he spent his days on a fishing docks and nights curled up by a cozy fire, blissfully ignorant to all the ugliness with Arthas, the war, and everything that came after. A vein of hope, almost certainly. That is a pleasant thought, though. After what I've seen, I think it is unlikely. Regretfully, I agree. Our shattered time in the Order was brief, as he left shortly after I first joined, but I remember him well, and I looked up to him, and he had my respect after his censure and departure from the Order. To find his weapon discarded and broken like this bodes ill. What is even more troubling was the scene you described. The Burning Blade are not to be trifled with. The Scarlet Crusade has proven themselves to be even more dangerous still as of late. I can only pray that the light guides you to Aeonas somehow. Be careful, though. I have a bad feeling about all this. Very well. Hopefully I will learn more of Aeonas' fate and my travels. Thank you. Alrighty, so there's that right there. So, our adventure has brought us to Minethel Harbor, where we need to speak to Harold Riggs, and you say, "Pardon me, did you say Aeonidas, as in Aeonidas the Quiet? Do you know him?" The Quiet, the Aeonidas I know, ain't exactly quiet, especially when it comes to fishing. Yeah, I know him all right. Saw him not too long ago, in fact. Even let Stuart here, the Dole, borrow his favorite fishing rod. Had no idea he was so dang popular, though. Between you and that last bunch that came asking after him, he seems like quite the belle of the ball. Haha. I'd like to speak with him if possible. Do you know where I can find him? Not too sure. He drifts into town on that awful old skiff of his every now and then. Trades supplies mostly. Dried meat, ale, bait, that sort of thing. Usually stops by for a spell to talk to the shop with Stuart. And I as well. Good guy, we like him. He usually sails in from the southwest, hugging the coast. I'm not sure where he's staying. Not much out that way other than narrow coast up against sheer mountains. Can't be far either, especially with him sailing on that beat-up old wreck. It's a miracle that thing even floats, I tell you. You mentioned others have been looking for him. Can you tell me about them? Well, they didn't seem as, let's say, cordial as you. There were 4 of them, rode in yesterday, in fact. They was all dressed like in red, like some sort of fair clowns. They sure weren't clowning around, though, I tell you. They seemed hard as nails. I told them what I told you, but I've been thinking maybe that was a mistake. Let's hope not, Harold. Thank you for the information. I feel like I should read this in a hick accent. So, after following his instructions and swimming for 18 hours to this dock in the middle of nowhere, we have found a slain Scarlet Crusader. We are going up here to approach him, continue searching the body for clues, and we get attacked by a Scarlet Assassin. Ha! We vanquished our foe with ease, and now we are looting this letter of the Grand Crusader. This appears to be orders from the Grand Crusader of the Scarlet Crusade himself, Deathroin. It seems that Aeonidas has run afoul of the Crusade. Judging by the scene before you, it appears that the Crusade was able to follow Aeonidas here and apprehend him. It appears that he did not go down without a fight. The charges levied against Aeonidas are grave, but that would explain some of the scene you came upon in Desolence. Bring the orders from the Grand Crusader back to Catherine the Pure. After surviving our assassination attempt, we have returned to Catherine the Pure.
You need something?
We tell her orders from the Grand Crusader. You bring words of Aeonidas. Catherine frowns deeply as she reads the letter. Aeonidas held some radical views by the time he left the order, but I find it very hard to believe that his business in Desolus involved anything consorting with demons, undead, or anything of the sort. We need to find him and hear his side of this. There's more to this, I am certain of it. So now we have to do a brother in need. Due to the unfortunate nature of why he left the order, it would certainly be bad comedy for Aeonidas to die at the hands of the Scarlet Crusade now. The Crusade is an organization of zealots and lunatics, and they've been growing increasingly brazen in their willingness to commit violence against anyone who they imagine to be enemies of the light. Go to the Scarlet Monastery in Tirisfal Glades. Find out if Aeonidas still lives. Bum, bum, bum. You mentioned something about whatever caused Aeonidas to leave the Silver Hand. What happened truly? Catherine sighs heavily. Very well. That Aeonidas had developed some unpopular opinions, namely that he teemingly to suggest that the light was neither good nor evil, but a force of nature like any other. He even suggested that we should be ready should we never need to fight against the light. You can see why I said that should his current predicament lead to his end, it would be a bad comedy indeed. Knowing what we know, it seems like maybe that wasn't such an outlandish idea. It most certainly is not. You must understand, Kaghoe. This was before Arthas and Stratham, before the Scarlet Crusade had brandished the light so brazenly to torture and kill so many. It was a different time. The Order was rigidly dogmatic in their views to the light. To challenge that rightness and that righteousness was borderline heretical. I don't know how to say that. Now, we know all too well that Aeonas was right. I hope he survives so that he may understand that he is vindicated and there are none who doubt his forethought and wisdom. I'll find him and bring him back, if I can. Catherine's wiped tears from her eyes as she begins to tear up. Light be with you, Kaghoe. Light be with you. After a hard battle with High Inquisitor Whitemane, Kaghoe makes it to the inner chambers to find Aeonas, former paladin of the Silver Hand, unconscious on the table. Bum bum bum. Aeonas, the man is critically injured. It's a miracle he is still breathing. Aeonas is critically injured. He struggles to even choke out a few words. They didn't even ask me any questions. Aeonas needs immediate healing or he will die. Call upon the light to save him. Heal Aeonas. Well, obviously we're laying on hands. Aeonas seems to be breathing more easily now. He still seems quite weak. He manages to turn his head towards you to speak. You say that Catherine sent you. Bless that woman. Thank you, Paladin. I am in your debt. Thank you for saving me, Paladin. It seems that I am not as young as I once was, and I think I am going to need allies for what is to come. Please meet me in Stormwind in this Cathedral of Light as soon as you are able. Don't worry about me. I can find my way out of here on my own. I just need a few moments to recover my strength. Meet Aeonas at the Cathedral of Light. Made it back to the Cathedral of Light to find Aeonas. I can't thank you enough for rescuing me from that light-forsaken place. Sadly, I fear that this is just the beginning of our journey, and the rest won't be easy. Let us speak and plan our next steps. Oh, but first, allow this old man to pass on some of his knowledge to the younger generation. It's not much of a reward, but I hope you can put it to good use. Talk to Aeonas the Vindicated after saving him. He says, I can't thank you enough for saving me, Kaghoe. Then we click on the quest. Some good news. Greetings, Kaghoe. I have some good news. I've made contact with my friend, and I am leaving soon to meet with him. What's more, another orb has surfaced in Kalimdor. I cannot be in two places at once, so if you are willing, I'd like for you to go in my stead to follow up on this new orb. Speak to Catherine for further instructions. So we get to talk to Catherine, who's right here next to us. Some good news. Good to see you again, Kaghoe. Let's get you caught up. The Mysterious Merchant. Well met, Kaghoe. Shaw and his spies have provided us with information on a mysterious merchant who just arrived in Kalimdor. He is looking to offload a collection of dangerous artifacts. We've come to believe that he has an echoing orb in his collection. He is staying at the Theramore Inn in Dustswallow Marsh. Travel quickly to retrieve the orb and speak to no one of this. We are sending you in alone to avoid drawing attention of our enemies. Be safe and go with the light. Alrighty, so now we have to travel to Theramore in order to get that. So I'll see when we get there. Arrive in the Theramore Inn to go and talk to Elric.
What can I do for you?
Please, we must go. If we hurry, we may be able to catch him. Mysterious Merchant. Ah, you made it. Catherine sent me here to assist you in your mission. We must hurry through our quarry has escaped. The paladin standing before you is not known to you. Speak to him and determine what he knows of the merchant and the current situation. Speak with Elric to learn more.
Hey there.
One moment, please. Catherine sent you? Who are you? I'm Elric. I'm a paladin of the Silver Hand. I came just before you did, and by the time I had arrived, the merchant we were to meet had already left town, headed north, deeper into the swamp. I was just able to set off after him when you arrived. Do you know anything else? Was he alone? Does anyone here know anything about him? Was he pursued by anyone else? Jeez, asking 50 questions at once. Elric shifts his weight impatiently. We do not have time for this. The merchant is going to get away if we do not act now. Please, let us go in all haste. You notice that one of the patrons standing at the bar is focused intently on something and is wearing a hard expression. There's a full, untouched mug of ale before him. What will it be, Kaghoe? Are you coming, or should I chase without you? You gaze next falls on the barkeep, who has been dutifully cleaning a dish. She has been focused intently on that same dish since you walks in. You notice a bead of sweat dripping down the side of her face, despite a noticeable chill in the air. As you turn your back to Elric, you notice his grip tighten on his mace and expression hardens. You clear your throat and speak loudly so that everyone in the room can hear you. Before what comes next, does anyone want to leave? Oh, a little bar fight, hell yeah. Time to smite these infidels. Paladin justice, baby. A bloody missive. You find a missive on the body of the paladin. It is covered in blood and difficult to read, but you can make out the message on the parchment. You should study it further and return to Catherine for further instructions. Bring the missive to Catherine the Pure. Alrighty, and we learn fanaticism. That's pretty cool. So, we're going to go bring this back to Catherine. And so, the bloody missive says, our spies tell us that SI-7 and the Silver Hand has taken the bait, and your target should be inbound to you. Find out what they know, and then see to it that you dispose of them quickly, outside of the city preferably. We must see these meddlers dead and our property returned to us by any means necessary. Do not fail. So we have returned to Catherine the Pure, here in the Cathedral of Light. Returning the bloody missive, so it was a trap. This is most troubling. It is a blessing you are safe, Kaghoe. I am hoping that wherever Aeonas went, he does not fall into similar danger. He is resourceful, so I have to trust that he will be okay. If I hear anything from him, I will contact you immediately. Thank you, Kaghoe. Oh, and one last thing. He entrusted this to me to pass on to you whenever you returned. Use it well and go with the light. So now we have our wayward friend with a missing knight. So our journey has led us here to the Emerald Sanctuary, where we find the Silver Hand Charger of Aeonas. So we give the horse a pat. I think he likes you, Kaghoe. If you are looking for its owner, he headed north. I think he said something about Blood Venom Falls. If you see him there, tell him he'll need to come back and collect his horse soon. There's a foul air blowing tonight. I can feel it. Alrighty, so now we're going to head north and to Blood Venom Falls to find Gregory and friends, finally. So I'll see you when we get there. Ventured north to Blood Venom Falls, and we have found a climbing rope to climb up here to meet with our friends. We have to keep clicking these ropes to get all the way up here in the mountains at Blood Venom Falls, where we will hopefully be able to find the Gregory and Aeonas that we are looking for. So Aeonas is here with a crystal, as well as Gregory is here as well. So let's see what Aeonas has for us. Well met, Kaghoe. Thank goodness I found you. What is going on here, Aeonas? Please allow me to explain. That man over there is the friend we've spoken of. His name in life was Gregory. In life, he is undead. Explain yourself. What is this, Aeonas? In the old days, before the fall of Lordaeron, before I left the Order, we were very close. He was a member of the Silver Hand as well, and someone I trusted with my life. When the Scourge invaded, he fought valiantly against them, but he died at Anderhall alongside the Lightbringer. Now he seems to be a member of the Scourge now, and that makes him our enemy. Yes, the one he serves is anathema to us. However, the world is not black and white. While we work against the goals of the Lich King, we share a common enemy, the Burning Legion. So, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? At times, perhaps. When Gregory came to me, I initially rejected him. Surely my friend was dead, and this mindless thrall was a mere slave to the Lich King. It still disturbs me to admit it, but I was wrong. I found that my friend was very much still the man I knew, and he beseeched me for aid in his mission to discover and destroy the orbs. I can never condone or mandate or methods of the Scourge, but I have come to believe that our cause is aligned in this, and he has my trust. Please speak with Gregory yourself. My hope is that you will see that this as I do, and can remain focused on our goals. Very well, Aeonas, but I cannot promise I will not kill him. Sheesh, I'm out here being ruthless. I'm just like, yeah, I'll talk to him, but I promise I won't kill him. My word, Kaghoe, you look nearly as pale as I am. You'd think you'd spoken to the dead, Gregory chuckles. I have no time for games, Undead. I need you to make this make sense to me. Very well, very well. It is as Aeonas said. I was once a paladin just like you. I believed fiercely in Lordaeron, in the Silver Hand, in my oath. But my heart broke when Arthas plunged his blade into my king's heart, and I fought until the last ounce of strength was gone on the day he killed my lord, the Lightbringer, in Anderhall. Yet you stand here under the banner of the Lich King. Yes, I stand here. At first my soul railed against what was done to me, to my homeland, to my friends, and my family. As time passed in death, however, I was able to find perspective. Yes, at first I was what Aeonas initially feared me to be, a mindless thrall. But just as Arthas threw off the chains of the Legion and freed himself, the dominating grip of the Lich King slackened in my minds of his minions, and I was able to free myself as well. After what you've seen, what he made you do, how could you serve him still? In life, my brothers called me Truthbearer, and I was hailed for my introspection and sage wisdom. As I rediscovered parts of myself that were lost, my eyes were open, and I began to feel the burden of the knowledge that I was able to glean from the mind of the Lich King while under his domination. There is part of me that will never forgive Arthas for what he did, but I cannot ignore the cold, hard truth. What is that truth? That our world is but a tiny speck in the grand cosmic game. There are forces far beyond our ken lurking in the darkness, titans, demons, the void. They are all deadly beyond anything we've known, and they are all hungrily devouring this world after world in pursuit of their own ends. What hope do we mortals of Azeroth have against such forces? We need to be stronger. We need to be more than we are able to stand against that. We need to be undying. This is delusion. The only thing that undeath brings is oblivion. Does it? Or is that what you tell yourself to maintain your righteousness and clarity of purpose, Kaghoe? In death, we can be all that we are, and so much more, and we need to be more to fight against what is coming. But it is not my place here today to sway you to my perspective. My mission is simple. Find and destroy the orbs. For that, I need allies. You're a member of the Scourge. Your numbers are nearly endless. Why not march an army down from Northrend and seize these orbs that way? What do you need the living at all? Not every problem is a rock that requires a hammer to break. For some things, the slender, sharper blade is the better tool. This mission requires guile and subterfuge as much as it requires strength of arms, and there are some places that someone like me and mine cannot go. Okay, let's say I agree to help you. What is next? What is next is for you to continue our mission. Thanks to your efforts, the first orb has been destroyed, and we must find a way to destroy the one that Aeonas and I recovered from the Malorok cavern. We must do this before we can begin to search for others. Having more than one in close proximity could be incredibly dangerous. Very well. For now, we will work together, but the moment you turn against us, I will destroy you. I'm sure you will try, Paladin. Alrighty, so now we have to get those pieces. Pretty awesome. So we're going to get the next quest, and I'll see you when we get that. So Gregory now has the quest, Materials of Significance, for us. Each of the echoing orbs is attuned to a different aspect of its master, and the method you used in Ashenvale to destroy the Alifax orb will not be effective on the orb we possess. I know of a ritual, but that may destabilize the orb and allow us to destroy it, but it requires components with special magical significance. We already possess some of the required materials, but you'll need to retrieve the rest. Take this. It should help in your search. So locate the materials list in Gregory's note and return them to Gregory at Bloodvenom Falls. A note from Gregory. Bring me the following: grave dust from the resting place of one murdered by those most loved, an elixir of fire created with steady hands and an unsteady mind, a symbol of faith gifted from one with newly discovered purpose, 3 infernal cores from the hulking beasts here in northern Fellwood. Alrighty, so we're gonna go get these, and we will return to Gregory with all that fun stuff. See you then. Lead our way to the depths of Maraudon, to Princess's lair, and we're able to loot the grave moss here for the dust of the one betrayed. And then we will now head to the Grim Guzzler to find our elixir of fire. After much hardship and immense amounts of slaughter, we have made it to the Grim Guzzler to buy our next thing, the triple brewed molten lager from this gnome bartender. Now we will embark on our final journey to Tarn Mill to get the to Tarn Mill to talk to the only Tauren Paladin in all of Season of Discovery. See you then. After a long journey, we made it to the outskirts of Tarn Mill to speak to the brave Stone Torch to discover a newly discovered purpose. He says, I cannot explain this, human, but I think I have something you need. I came to this land to seek knowledge, and that search led me up the mountain over yonder to a giant stone of light fallen from the sky. In my contemplation at this stone, Ashani gifted me many great things. One was a sense of new purpose, another of which was a vision of you and me here having this conversation. I think I gave you this. Please take this totem, use it well in service of Ashani, in service of the light. After a long journey, we made it back to Gregory finally with our materials of significance. It must have been quite the adventure to obtain these items. Well done. Now that we have the materials, I must prepare the witch roll. For now, consult with Aeonas. He wishes to speak with you. Alright, let's see what he has for us. The ritual. I wanted to thank you for your efforts, Kaghoe. Without you, we'd likely be dead, and the servants of the Legion would still have possession of this dangerous artifact. I know it's difficult to trust an agent of the Lich King, but it is my hope that after this is over, we can sway my friend back to the light. It's clear that the man I cared for is still in there. He may only need a nudge. Come now, we're needed by Gregory to help him complete his ritual. Let us speak again when it's done. Speak with Gregory to complete the ritual. Dun dun dun. I've spoken with Aeonas, and he is ready to start the ritual. I think Aeonas. Aeonas. That's probably how you say it, Aeonas. We'll try to, I'm sure people will tell me how terribly I pronounced it, but it's okay. As long as we're consistent. Grave dust from the resting place of one murdered, an elixir of fire created with steady hands and an unsteady mind, a symbol of faith guided, and a final ingredient is you, Paladin, the blood of a would-be hero, unwillingly, coldly taken. Wait, what are you doing, Gregory? You must stop at once. Stand clear, my friend. This is what must be done. This mission is bigger than the one you started, even as useful as this. No, Gregory, please, this is wrong. I can't let you do this. Silence, Aeonas. That is enough. I must concentrate on the ritual. No, I will not be silent. I dared to hope that some shred of my friend was left in there, but now you can see that hope has blinded me. In the name of the light, I deny you. Aeonas, no. What have you done? I should be a voice actor, huh? The ritual. I have no words, Kaghoe. Seeing Gregory again filled me with a dangerous kind of hope. His nature was laid bare from the moment we reconnected, and there were plenty of signs pointing towards this end. I was blind to them. Please take this accursed orb and leave me. I have much to contemplate. Return the orb to Catherine the Peer in Stormwind. Alrighty, so we're going to head there and do that soon. See you then. After the tragic events that befell us in Fellwood with the Death Knight Gregory, we have returned to Catherine the Peer. Welcome back, Kaghoe. What is that you have there? Oh my.
Farewell.
That is quite the troubling tale. The part of me that is a paladin finds it impossible to reconcile that he willingly consorted with a member of the Scourge, but the human part of me understands how strong the bonds of friendship can be. Thank you for bringing the orb here. I will see that it is stored in the deepest vault we have for now. Oh, and one last thing. I had this repaired and had hoped to present it to Aeonas on his return. I think he would want you to wield it in his stead. Whisper. That's a pretty dope two-handed weapon right there. And now we are doing the quest, Our Wayward Friend.
Go with honor.
I'm glad you are here, Kaghoe. We've got word that a traveler matching the description of our friend Aeonas has been seen near Chillwind Camp, heading in the direction of Sorrow Hill. After what happened in Fellwood, I wanted to give him space, but there are those in the Order who still distrust him. And at some point, he's going to need to come in from the cold and explain why he withheld his prolonged involvement with a known agent of the Lich King. Go and find him. See if you can convince him to come in. Alrighty, so we are now going to make our way to Chillwind Post, all the way up north, so I'll see when we get there. After a long flight through Chillwind Camp, we have made it successfully here to Sorrow Hill, where we will find Aeonas in Uther's tomb. So we are traveling here, and we have a high priest here, as well as Aeonas, former paladin of the Silver Hand. Aeonas gazes up at the statue of Uther in silent reflection. I had a feeling you'd turn up sooner or later. Sorry to disappoint you, but it's not quite time for me to come back yet. That's the best part about being a former member of the Silver Hand. I don't answer to anyone in the Order anymore. At some point, I'll come back, but for now, please tell Catherine that I've acknowledged her request, but I am not ready just yet. You look like you've grown strong since we last met. I am very glad. If there's anything I've done right in my life, it's saving your life in Fellwood. But that is a comfort to me. Anyway, best be getting back to Catherine now, unless there was anything else you needed to ask me. If you won't come back, I respect that, but can you at least tell me where you've been? Here and there, but I've kept busy. I've been mostly taking up odd jobs, cracking some bandit skulls here, incinerating some necromancers there, putting down the odd sheep-stealing dragon. Not much, but it's honest work, and it keeps my hands busy. Plus, it's a great way to stay in shape. Why are you here now? Recently, I've been retracing my steps, trying to understand where it all went wrong. I've known a lot of failure, Kaghoe, and I have a lot to atone for, but I'm doing that atonement now, in my own way. Anderhall is my next stop. I've actually not been back there since before the war started, but I feel like part of me has been waiting there for years. I've been avoiding this place for a long time. So many of my best friends, my brothers, my sisters, died in that accursed city, protecting that little box of ashes. I should have been there with them, of course, but my own stubbornness led me to leave the Order just as they were about to need me the most. You couldn't have known what was coming. It hardly matters. I swore an oath, and when you swear an oath, it's for life. Whatever petty squabbles I had, or how narrow-minded some of our leaders were, it didn't excuse me from walking away, even if many of them wanted me gone. So now I'm retracing my steps and walking towards the things that are uncomfortable instead of walking away from them. I understand. I'll let Catherine know you aren't ready yet, and I hope we meet again soon. I'm sure we will. I think I'll remain here for a while. The night elf is a surprisingly good conversationalist. Not bad at Hearthstone either. The fishing also ain't bad near Sierra Duro, if you don't mind fishing up the occasional zombie head. Alrighty, so now we're headed back to Stormwind to meet our wayward friend. We have returned to Stormwind after our long chat with Aeonas to tell Catherine the Pure about our wayward friend. Kaghoe, thank the light you are here. The vault has just been robbed, and the Manoric echoing orb has just been stolen.
Light bless you.
Grand Theft Echoing Orb. Please make your way over to the southeastern area of the canals and speak with the Vault Keeper there, Julian Farenster. He can tell you what he knows, learn what you can about the crime. There are a lot of people who would have wanted to steal that orb, so gathering as much information as we can while the crime scene is still fresh is vital.
Safe travels.
Alright, so that orb that we just did in Fellwood in the previous episode has been stolen, so we need to go investigate the break-in. So I'll see when we get arrived at Julian in the canals, and we're going to talk with him. Catherine the Pure sent me. She tells me there was a break-in. Please give me all the details you have regarding what happened. We can't be entirely sure, but it appears that 2 or more separate groups may have had designs on the stolen property. When our guards came upon the vault, it was quite the scene. There were multiple dead assailants wearing red-hooded robes, as well as a disgusting demon. It was horrible. Did your guards or personnel see anything that could help us determine who did this? Do you have any information on who may have killed and robbed these figures, or the demon? Again, regrettably, no. No one saw anything. I did recover this talisman from one of the bodies, however. The Vault Keeper hands you a metal-wrought talisman with a crude symbol of depicting a burning sword. I hope this helps. You have our most sincere apologies for the loss of your property, of your order's property, Paladin. Alright, now we have to go back to Catherine the Pure, so I'll see you when we get there. Catherine the Pure, we tell her about the Grand Theft Echoing Orb. That isn't much to go on, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. I'm interested to hear what you learned with your meeting with Aeonas, but I'm afraid this matter takes priority at the moment. Let's talk about our current lead. This is undoubtedly a Burning Blade medallion, which suggests the Legion cult involvement. As for where to start, you might try and head over to the taverns in the city and try to shake down some of the more unsavory types for information. It's not much, but it's a start.
Safe travels.
Alrighty, let's head over to those taverns and dark places for these unsavory individuals. I'll see you when we get there. After our talk with Catherine, we have arrived at the Slaughtered Lamb to speak with Ada Darkheart. You look like someone who just lost something. I suspected you'd end up here sooner or later looking for it. To take your credit, you made it here faster than I expected.
Have a good one.
Of course I expected you to find me here. Why do you think I left those cultists' corpses for you to find in that vault? Before you get too worked up, yes, the orb is safe. More safe than this city, apparently. If I had entered the vault just a few moments later, the orb would have been gone. I've said enough for now, and this tavern has ears. Find me on the Isle of Sierra in Western Plaguelands. You'll get answers when you arrive. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, now we have to head over to the Western Plaguelands to meet Ada Darkheart. So I'll see you when we get there. After a long journey, we arrive at Sierra Daro to go speak with Ada Darkheart in this place, and we have discovered Gregory, the Truthbearer. Don't have much to say to you, Paladin. My master thinks we need you. I disagree. I know enough about paladins to know that you are only going to get in the way. Leave me before I crack that thick, self-righteous skull of yours.
See you around.
You don't look surprised to see me. I've had much time to reflect on our last meeting in Fellwood, Kaghoe. Not only was my attempt on your life foolish, it was terribly short-sightedness. In my eagerness to complete my mission, I failed to consider my actions and how they would be perceived. This misjudgment has cost us much. I do believe we can still help each other. What can I tell you to put your mind at ease? First off, why did you take the echoing orb from Stormwind? The cult of the dam has eyes and ears in many great places. When I realized the burning blade intended to make a move on the orb, I made mine first. Trust me, Kaghoe, the orb is safer where I have it than anywhere in Stormwind. Getting into the vault wasn't terribly difficult either. It turns out when you don't properly compensate people who build your opulent castles and vaults, you can never be sure who might end up with knowledge about the secret doors and passageways. Well, that's a disturbing thought. Fine, what's next? How do I fit into this? For starters, I wanted to know that the orb was safe to prevent you from rushing off to chase a dead end. For another thing, the partial ritual we performed in Felwood did not have an effect on the orb. It's changed now. I believe there may be another way to finish the process and destroy it without needless betrayal. However, I believe we'll still need you to complete the ritual. Just not as a sacrifice. These things are all about creating and severing arcane connections, and for good or ill, you are a part of this until the end now. Great. Sounds like you tried to kill me for nothing, then. Regrettably, yes. You must understand that at this time your death seemed perfectly acceptable price to pay for the expedient advancement of my goals. It was simply the most pragmatic path forward. In retrospect, of course, I could see that it was entirely self-defeating and only served to delay the completion of my objectives. That is one of the worst apologies I think I've ever heard. The morality of living is something that does not come easy to someone in my position, Paladin. I can honestly say that it was a costly misjudgment, and I am so sorry for that. I am also sorry that I made an enemy of Aeonas after doing so much to gain some amount of trust. He was a powerful ally, and our cause is weakened without him. Our cause, is it? Just like that? Yes, just like that. Or so I had hoped. You are a capable paladin, Kaghoe. Whatever is lurking on the other end of these orbs is dangerous, and I think you know that. I hope that you can see the logic in continuing our partnership until my mission is completed. I'll have to think about it. What are your plans now? For now, we lie low and wait. The orb is changed, but it is also as if it's been tampered, hardened. I suspect we'll need something significantly stronger than your blood to finish the job and destroy it this time. Ada will be hard at working searching for a suitable reagent. If you happen to cross paths with Aeonas again, tell him I'm sorry. Wanted to ask you about something else. Okay, so the Plaguelands Rendezvous. I sense that the end is in sight. Hopefully we can find a suitable replacement for your blood and be done with this business once and for all. In any case, you came all this way in good faith and you didn't try to kill me, so I appreciate that. Here, take this as a token of my appreciation. It's not much, but it served me well. In another life, hopefully it can be a boon to you as well, too. Testament, Horn of Lord Aran. So we have made it to the finale, the blood of the Lightbringer. It says, this small reliquary is filled with a small sample of blood. There is a partially torn parchment label on the underside that bears a single word, Uther. So Uther, obviously, Uther the Lightbringer is the most famous paladin. Arthas stabbed him in Warcraft 3, so let's click this and read the quest. The blood of the Lightbringer. Your hand trembles slightly as you hold the small vial of blood. Aside from the inscription on the label, you can feel a warmth and energy radiating out from the sample. Could this truly be the blood of the legendary hero, Uther the Lightbringer? You should find someone who can verify the authenticity of this sample. Find someone who can tell you more about this. Please note that you will need to complete the Plaguelands revenue. We already did that, so we need to find someone who can tell us about this blood. So, we are on our way to Uther's graveyard, and we will see who we find there. So we have arrived at the tomb of Uther the Lightbringer to talk to High Priest Theldanos. Peace be with you, Paladin. Wait, what is it that you have here? High Priest Theldanos' eyes grow wide as he examines the reliquary. Surely this cannot be. How would the black dragons obtain a sample of Lord Uther's blood? If this is genuine, it would become a relic of profound importance. Let us speak further on this. Remains such as the one you carry tend to have mysterious properties. Some particularly powerful relics may even seem sentient or have personality at times, particularly in proximity to individuals and places closely tied to their living selves. If this truly is Uther's blood, there is a chance it may react when we near the place Uther died. Explore the town and see what happens. Take the blood of the Lightbringer to Anderhall. Alrighty, so we are now going to head out to Anderhall, just down the road, so I'll see you when we get there. After fighting hordes of undead to enter the ruins of Anderhall, we approach the damaged silver hand breastplate of Lord Uther the Lightbringer. His ghost remains here for us. Explore Anderhall and see if the blood reacts. Aeonas has approached us. This is where he met his end, Kaghoe. I'm sure you know that part. He oversaw the final defenses of the city, in the end overwhelmed and murdered by his most promising pupil, Arthas Menethil. I have many regrets in my life, but chief among them is that I was not here shoulder to shoulder with him and the rest of my brothers at the end. There is no doubt that truly is the blood of Uther the Lightbringer. We both know how powerful it can be. This might be the key to finishing Gregory's ritual. I can think of none more heroic than Uther, and none more coldly betrayed. Yes, I know Gregory is alive. I know he has the orb, and I know that he's approached you. I suspect this is more than mere coincidence. It's providence. It's, of course, up to you to decide if you trust Gregory enough to help him or not. Whatever you do, just be careful and watch your back. I don't think he means to harm, but I've misjudged him before. I'm very glad I decided to come here and witness this. A fleeting encounter though it was, it reinforces that I'm on the right path, perhaps for the first time in a long time. You should return to Theldis now. He will be interested to hear about this encounter. Good luck, Paladin. Alright, we are now riding out with Aeonas back to the Tomb of Uther to talk to him about what we saw here. After a short ride, we have returned to High Priestess Thandels. There is no doubt then, the blood is authentic. What you have there is a treasure, Paladin. Take care of it. Protect it with your life. Please, Kaghoe, speak with me before you go. Aeonas gazes up at the statue of Uther in silent reflection. Just what was needed. I can already tell that you intend to bring the blood to Gregory. Good. My judgment has been questionable at best, and this was always a younger paladin's game that I have just been playing at. I'm still not sure how to feel, but I'm certainly happy to see that you've grown into the paladin that you've always meant to be. Take the blood of the Lightbringer to Gregory at Darrow. Alright, we're gonna ride over there, back to Gregory, and I'll see when we get there. Encounter with Uther, we have raced back to Gregory, the Undead Paladin, to speak with him about the blood of Uther. Just what was needed. Yes, Kaghoe. I wasn't expecting to see you back here again, at least not this soon. What is it? This is incredible. I'm far too pragmatic to believe in fate, but this is certainly a fortuitous turn of events. With this, I think we have everything we need to finish the ritual and destroy the orb for good. As with any good ritual, location is key. Are you familiar with Dark Whisperer Gorge in Winterspring? It is an accursed, demon-infested place, but this is where we must go to finish it. I will gather the orb and the remaining materials and meet you there. The end of my mission is near at hand. Meet Gregory in Dark Whisperer Gorge. Alrighty, we have a long, perilous journey to Dark Whisperer Gorge, and I'll see you when we arrive. After a long, perilous journey, we have arrived at the deepest corners of Dark Whisperer Gorge to speak with Gregory. We bring him the blood of the Lightbringer. I know this was a bit out of the way, but we needed an area where the barrier between our reality and the Nether is thin, with a large concentration of latent arcane energy. The last time we chose Felward because of its proximity to Mount Hyjal. For this ritual, I will take no chances, and I wanted to get as close to the dormant well of eternity as possible. I can already tell this is the perfect place. I can nearly feel the energy on the air. Come, let's begin. Once I begin the ritual, I can't be sure what will happen. This place is crawling with demons, and if they detect our ritual, we may need to defend ourselves. You and Ada will need to focus on that while I channel Estelle. Please stay close. However, as you yourself are a vital part of this magic. Alrighty. Culmination. Once we begin the ritual, I can't be sure what will happen. This place is crawling with demons, and if they detect our rituals, we may need to defend ourselves. You and Ada will need to focus on that while I channel the spell. Please stay close, however, as you, yourself, are a vital part of this magic. Let's begin. Die, demons, die! Be gone from this foul land. For Uther, here they come. An incubus. Die! Incubi. Huh! Ha! These demons think that they're coming at us. This is easy. More demons incoming. We have a hulking Doom Guard. He has 6,000 health. That should be nothing. Ha! Demacia! Wait, this is in League. I got confused there for a moment. More demons attack us. Ha! Die, demons, die! Be gone, demonic filth! Ah! Hammer of Justice! Oh. Ditharius the Seeker descends from the heavens and says, "Enough!" and stuns Gregory, kills Ada. Your pathetic ritual is broken. Come forth, Azlagoth. Welcome, Azlaroth, Lord of the Pit. Death, pain, blood. I demand blood. There'll be plenty of time for that, I assure you. Now, leave these pitiful mortals to wallow in their failure. Join me as my guest in my lair in Demonfall Canyon. Farewell, fools. You have done me a great service today. Azlagoth will make a fantastic general in the invasion to come. No, this cannot be. We were so close. I have failed my mission. Azlagoth is unleashed, and we must regroup and plan our next steps. Time is now against us. The Dread Lord mentioned Demonfall Canyon, so the good news is we know where they will be headed. The bad news is that we've likely strengthened Azlagoth's anchor to Azeroth and failed our ritual. Even if we slay Azeroth now, he would soon manifest himself again. I have an idea. It's desperate, but it might be our only hope. There's someone in Anderhall with a very particular set of skills that might be able to help, but we'll need to build some trust with her first. Travel to Anderhall and locate Gregory to do what is next. Alrighty, we're gonna head it back over there, and we'll see you when we get there. After a long journey, we arrived at the inn in the ruins of Anderhall to approach Gregory here. You made it. Good. The reliquary of Uther's blood was the key to that ritual, but unfortunately lost in the attack. As I said before, this magic is all about building and breaking connections. If we could find another sample of that blood, we could use it against Azeroth's physical form and slay him to banish his soul from Azeroth completely. How much do you know about bronze dragons? What we need to finish this mission exists right here in Anderhall, and it just isn't there right now. The room behind me contains a gnome named Chromie. She's a rather curious creature who is known to utilize a very special type of draconic magic. Time magic, in point of fact. If we could convince her to use her magic to help us, we might be able to reach through time briefly and get what we need. It's a gambit, but it might be our only option. See if you can convince her to lend her aid to us. Speak with Chromie. It's great to see you again, Kaghoe. At least, I think we've met already. We've met, right? This gets hard to keep track of all the different versions of each person I've met or will meet. Chromie, may I ask... Chromie, may you help me travel back in time to when Anderhall was destroyed? Oh, sheesh. That sounds dangerous, both to you and the timeline. I'm not sure it's such a good idea. What do you need in the past? Explain the events involving your attempts to destroy the echoing orbs and what occurred in Winterspring. That is troubling, but it goes against my better judgment. But there will be there will come a time that you will prove yourself to be a trustworthy and reasonable paladin. Yes, I will help. You must take care in the past. Interfering in past events can have disastrous consequences on the future. Let me know when you are ready, and I will open a portal to allow you to time walk to the day that Anderhall burned. I hope that current you is just as trustworthy as future you. Thank you, Chromie. I will promise not to step on any butterflies while I am there. Right. The portal is no problem, but it's keeping you anchored to this time that can be problematic. I think I can maintain a connection with you and one other person, and even spare a bit of magic to glimmer on some convincing disguises onto you. But you'll just want to hurry, as if you linger too long, my magic might start to fade. Making ready. Demons invading and death rituals, that all sounds very scary. Luckily, this handy little time bubble we're standing in makes connection ourselves to a specific point in time at this location easy. This will be dangerous, though, and when you and your friend are ready, say the word. It's really happening then. As much as I hate to admit it, I don't think that I'm the best person to go back with you. My body has suffered too much damage between Aeonas' holy fire and the demon's attack. In my current state, I'm more likely to slow you down than help. With Ada dead, I think we might need outside aid. I said I don't believe in fate, but I don't know if that was entirely true. My perspective has changed so much since my mortal life ended, but the longer I spend on this mission, the more I start to see the patterns and connections in things. I think you already know this, but Aeonas, that has to go with you. But it's Aeonas that has to go with you. Believe me when I say I'd like nothing more than to leave my old friend in peace, but this is bigger than what I expected. Go to Uther's tomb and explain the situation. After a short journey, we arrive to Aeonas. Aeonas, I need your help one last time. You tell Aeonas everything that has happened since you last met. That is quite the tale, Kaghoe. Aeonas pauses and quietly considers what you've just said. Yes, I'll do it. I'll go. I believe that fate, the light, something is moving us in this direction together. No sense in swimming in the current against the current. Thank you, Aeonas. I'm proud to have you by my side for this. I'm right behind you, Kaghoe. After a short journey, we've made it back to the end with Gregory and Aeonas. Gregory nods at you, then Aeonas. It's time, Kaghoe. Go speak with Chromie when you are ready. Who says you can never go back? The portal is ready. Once you enter, you'll be transported to Anderhall, just after it fell. In order to help you blend in a bit better, I've prepared some magical disguises for you. These will do for most of the denizens of the past, but you will still want to be careful not to get noticed. When you have what you need, just make your way back to this place in the past. The portal should be waiting for you. The portal to the past. You place your hand on the portal. You are about to enter a solo instance. Please ensure you are well prepared and can set aside ample time to complete this part of your adventure. You may have to repeat the progress if you choose to leave and return later. They got their own load screen for it too? What the heck? I'm a ghoul? This is not what I was expecting. We made it. Steel yourself, Kaghoe. I can't be sure what's waiting for us in there, but it won't be good. We need to get in, locate the place where Uther fell, and see if we can gather a few drops of his blood. From there, we need to make our way back to the inn on the west side of town and make our escape. We should hurry, but we also need to make sure we approach this with care and respect, as my Lord Uther deserves. The thought of disturbing him where he fell makes me deeply uncomfortable. Let's get this over with. Come with me, Aeonas. So we need to find where Uther fell. Galvanrod the Dire. He stood shoulder to shoulder with Lord Uther the day he took his oath. He became the first paladin of the Order of Knights of the Silver Hand. He was a legendary figure and an inspiration to us all. Here's Lord Uther in Arthas Menethel. Uther still lives. We weren't supposed to be here for this. What could I have done differently had Uther lived, had he defeated Arthas here, and now we could step in, we could help, No, this is not why we are here. I will honor the Lightbringer by being here for him, by bearing witness even though he'll never know it. I dearly hope there's a special place in hell waiting for you, Arthas. We may never know, Uther. I intend to live forever. Bam. May the light guide your path, Uther, the Lightbringer. That was so cool. A scrap of torn cloth. I think our disguises are falling. Go collect the blood. I beg you, be respectful. That man is a hero. Even in death, we must take care to his dignity. As unsavory as this was, we've done what we came to do. I assume we shouldn't be expecting the disguises to come back, so I think we have no choice but to fight our way out. Ready yourself, Kaghoe. The undead have broken through the infested the west side of the city. This is going to be hard fighting, Kaghoe. Time is against us now, so we should avoid the areas with the thickest amount of scourge. Oh, I almost forgot. Take this. If we somehow become separated, sound the horn and I'll make my way back to you. Fight your way to the inn and escape back to your own time. Let's go. Alright, we're fully buffed. Dragon Breath Chili. The inn should be right over here, right? No? Maybe? Oh, here we go. Holy Wrath, OP spell against undead. Ha! Die, you fiends! Die! Rot gut. Let's fight him. We got this. We're popping wings. Die! Huh. gut slain. Into the end, quickly. Aeonas is nothing, just a scratch. I just need to catch my... Aeonas starts to drift off before opening his eyes and suddenly locking eyes with you. Aeonas winces. He's gravely wounded. I think this is as far as I go, Kaghoe. It's... okay. This is always where I belonged. I am happy to be here with my friends at the end. Here, take this. I've forged this to remind me, to ensure that I'll never forget the friends I lost here, and that I'd always stay true to them. That's even what I called it, Truthbearer. Give it to Gregory for me. Perhaps it can help him remember more of who he is. I think I see you, too. He's changed. The Truthbearer obtained. We have made it back to our time. Where's Aeonas? What happened? Tell me everything. Thank you for bringing me this. The blade is consecrated and will cause me considerable pain to wield, but it seems a small sacrifice to make for my friend. Grief comes later. For now, it's time to end this. Gather your most trusted allies and go to Demonfall Canyon. Azeroth may reveal himself to you immediately, but if you issue a subtle challenge, he will answer. Take the blood and use it to concentrate your weapon and destroy him. For Aeonas, for Ada, it's time to end this. The cost of victory. We've assembled a team on the PTR. We have Madam Mim, Rudka, Joshdin, and Kaghoe. We're talking to Gregory here. He says, it is finally time. As damaged as I am, I'm not as good in a fight as I once was, but I'll try not to get in the way. Ensure that you use the blood on your weapon before you engage Azeroth, to ensure that the link is destroyed and our world is severed and his link to our world is severed when he is destroyed. Ready when you are. Let's finish this for Aeonas. Alright. We're good to go. Oh, he has that good shit. Hell yeah. Oh, I have no pally power, so let's go ahead and give everyone might. Oh, we got the round of world buffs. Let's get it. Hell yeah. Don't mean might, do wisdom. Alright, let's get it. After destroying our way through the Demonfall Canyon, we are now here to kill Azeroth, Lord of the Pit. Eye of the Observer. Oh, we're standing in fire, huh? Fire bad. I need Madman to come up here. Or Madam Meme. There you go. Perfect. Alright, there we go. We got everyone in. Huge. Alright. That's good stuff. Cost of victory. ... My mission is complete at long last. This has consumed me for so long now that I haven't really considered what that victory really means. I suppose this means our alliance is at an end, and I should be on my way back to Northrend. An uneasy silence hangs between you. Aeonas mentioned to see it far before I did. We're redoing this part. Managed to see it far before I did. He saw how I've changed while on this mission. I actually feel sadness, regret, love once again. Sadness for Ada, regret for my betrayal, and love for my friend. I don't know exactly what this means, but I do know that I can't go back to Northrend. Lordaeron, perhaps? Perhaps there are others like me, those that fell from the light, and are slowly finding their way back to it. Maybe I can help them like my friend helped me. Bid farewell to Gregory. The fact that Truthbearer no longer causes me pain tells me all I need to know about the path I must walk now. However, I think the blade should stay with you, Aeonas. Aeonas would understand, and I'm quite sure he would approve. The lion's share of my fighting days are likely behind me, and a weapon like this deserves to be used in the service of the light. Goodbye, Kaghoe. Light be with you. Alrighty, guys, that brings us to the end of our story with Gregory, the Undead Paladin. As you see here, he has made his way all the way to the Undead starting zone, where he sits here and he ponders. You can talk to him for a dialogue, but he says this no matter what player or race you are. I came all the way here on the Alliance Paladin to see if there was something unique, but he says, "Greetings, Paladin. Don't mind me. I merely found my way here to pay respects to some fallen friends. Much has changed here since my former life, but seeing how many of my friends and countrymen have risen again and are finding new purpose fills me with hope. Who knows, perhaps some may find their way back to the light, as I have." So obviously I'm heavily hinting and implying at Undead Paladins. I hope we get them. I don't know if we're going to get him, but I think it'd be absolutely phenomenal and one of the greatest changes they could add to SOD to finally give us this. And I know a lot of people would love to see that too. But to conclude this video, huge shout out to Agrin for pointing me in the right direction of Gregory. I made one video talking about him, briefly mentioning him, and he sent me a whole bunch of stuff commenting on him and where he came from, his origins, and essentially it was the entire Paladin Epic Quest rune line all the way up. So huge shout out to him for showing me that, as well as all of the devs that worked on the Paladin class story right there. I thought it was truly an amazing story, so great job, guys. It was amazing, and I hope I did your story justice by covering it here with all of this. So anyway, that's all for me. I hope you guys truly enjoyed this, and if you think there are any other stories you'd like me to cover and enjoy this type of video, definitely reach out to me and I'll definitely do them. So until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey you. Yes you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.